Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do with the blade, you can see the signature this time, is to reprofile it, grind a much shallower angle of bevel onto it and a much deeper bevel. The bevel angle on this, it's a very shallow bevel, and the bevel angle is very steep. It's blunt. Probably angle like that, maybe 40 degrees, maybe more. I'm going to grind it more like that, much more acute. The tool of choice to do this would be a belt sander ideally, but I don't have one. Could use a bench grinder, which I do have, although it's set up as a polishing machine at the moment. The problem with a bench grinder is it tends to heat the blade up, which could remove any hardening, assuming there is any hardening on this blade. So I'm going to have a go with this Dremel multi-tool with a little grinding wheel on it. It's probably going to take a while. The paint might get in the way, but I want to keep the paint on so I can see more clearly where the angle is. If necessary, I'll remove the paint. And this is going to take a while, so I'll at least start it and demonstrate. Probably make a lot of dust as well, which means I might have to do it outside. But anyway, here goes to start with. Okay, well that's a start. As you can see, hopefully, this region here I've started on, that's working quite well. It's making more dust than I'd hoped, so I'm going to have to continue this outside. And you can see it's skated slightly, which has put a scratch on the blade. I'm going to have to be quite careful about that. It's not too big a deal, but this is definitely going to take a while. The blade hasn't heated up at all when I've been using this, so it looks like the kind of Dremel device is going to be satisfactory for this. If it was a smaller blade, I would use I've got a diamond whetstone, but using the stone for this, it's just too big a blade. This is going to be a lot quicker, even though it's going to take a while. I'll just do a little bit more. Yeah, it hasn't heated the blade up at all. This is going to be satisfactory for initially reprofiling it and, you know, making a deeper but shallower bevel. Deeper this way, further down here, but much shallower angle. So I'll continue with this and show you at the next stage. Right, well, the Dremel's working okay, but the paint is getting in the way. However, it comes off very easily with some sandpaper. I'll demonstrate this. So, 400 grit sandpaper. You can see here, that's removing the paint very easily. I'm going to force a blue patina on this later on, so it'll be nicely blued later, but for the moment, if you look at this region here, I'll just use the sandpaper quickly on it. And you can see a lot of the paint has come off very easily. So I'm removing the paint and I'll continue with the Dremel after that. I need to be careful on this side though, because I don't want to destroy the engraved signature if I can avoid it. But I don't know how deeply it's engraved, so I'll have to see. But yeah, if you're going to do the edge, sand it off just near the edge first, because otherwise it clogs the grinding wheel. Anyway, I will continue. Well, that's one side done using the multi-tool. I used this extension cable on it to get the angle. It's consumed a lot of the stone I had to redress the stone, but it's got the job done a little bit quicker. This side shows the bevel as it is with all the paint. This side has had the paint removed and then has been somewhat reprofiled with the Dremel multi-tool. So as you can see, that it's deeper and it's much shallower. Maybe too shallow, but I can worry about that later. Really must buy a belt sander. Now, what I'm going to do next, because that's very irregular, is just make it a bit more regular using this 80 grit scythe stone. So let's see. I'm just going to use the stone like this. Continuous angle, keep the same angle, just to smooth off the irregularities from using the Dremel. This is again going to take a while, but then this side will have been reprofiled. This isn't sharpening as such, not yet. This is just getting a new bevel angle on that I can do something with further down the line. So yeah, one side completed, the other side not completed. Still worried about this signature. I don't know if we're going to lose that.